Good morning, everyone. Just setting off on a lifer hunt, and today we're going for the Eurasian Dotterel, which is in the wader, the plover family, the small wader in the plover family. Oh, and according to this, it's the only species placed in the genus Eudromias, if I've said that correctly. Brown and black streaked bird with a broad white eye stripe and an orange-red chest band when in breeding plumage. So what's happened, this has been down in the Dover area, St Margaret's Cliff, for about a week. Now, I didn't run for it at first because I thought, chances are it's going to be gone by the time I get there. Is it worth the long drive? And then it kept showing up every day on bird guides and then pictures on Facebook. Now, usually when pictures show up on social media, then I know people have actually got a good view, because on my last podcast, I did point out that when people say, oh, this has been seen or spotted somewhere, it's been spotted from a great distance and it's not worth running for a photograph because you will not get a good photograph. So I didn't run for it, and then I thought, okay, the weather's bad as well. That put me off. So I thought, okay, it's raining. Yesterday I was going to do it. I checked the weather forecast, which is always important. You should be doing that as a bird watcher. Don't just randomly go out, because you could be getting the mother of all thunderstorms and rainstorms. So check that as well. And today's sunny, the rain's gone. It was rainy yesterday, so I sat in and did loads of ideas and script stuff and downloading stuff off the internet, ready for some future videos that I've got planned that are not bird watching, going out and getting the birds. It's actually to do with equipment and technical stuff. I'm just turning around in my yard. I'm all packed with food. So anyway, let's get back to it. Yeah, it was spotted well yesterday on 4 occasions, I think. And I woke up this morning, if I open my phone and it's there, I'm off. And I woke up excited, 6 hours sleep, which is under what I normally have. Because when you're going to wake up for these things, you're always really, really excited. And all you can do is think of birds. And you're dreaming about birds. And I think I'm going to have to check. What am I on? 7. I better check my Facebook. I keep all my stuff on my Facebook account. I use it as a kind of filing system, Stormcab photography and video. So I'm just going in there to check my albums. And if I scroll down on my different albums, Faro, Costa Rica, Aruba, Agadir, bird species photograph. Right, so I am on 754. So if I can get 754 species, if I can get, that's worldwide, with the help of several trips abroad. I don't know what my UK species count is. I suppose I know where I got what lifer, and I could make a UK list, make it separate. Then I can start saying, oh, this is a UK lifer for me, even though I got it elsewhere. So hopefully today that will go 755. And on top of that, a spotted crake has been, spotted in, was it Sandwich? I think it's, what is it? I think it's near Sandwich. And they've put the location. I've seen the photo of it, and it's decent enough. It's a record shot, but decent enough to go for, because I can't spend the whole day looking at these Dotterel. So I missed the spotted crake when I was in Lesvos. I got the common crake, and I think there was another crake, a Balliol. Probably got that completely wrong. There were like 3 different types of crake, and all I saw was the common one, and I got that as a lifer. So this could be a 2-day lifer. A lifer day, a 2-day lifer, a 2 lifer day, 2 lifer day. And then, not that it's, I've got point blank views of a stone curlew. There's one at Cliff Pools, which has been spotted recently, and I've seen it where it is on the map, and I know it's going to be distant. It's where I got my first one as a lifer, and it was very, very distant. And I'm not in this heat haze as well, I'm not going to really bother with that. And it's a trek out to where you would get a view of it. And I don't want to do it. There's other things but I'm hoping that while I'm down in Kent, down that way, that something else pops up that I normally might not run for, but seeing as I'm all the way down there, I'll at least check it, because I don't normally run for lifers or big twitches, because when you've done a couple, for me anyway, and you've had a dip, as they call it in the bird world, you've missed it as a dip, that's horrible. When you've spent 15, 20 pounds, or some of you might have traveled across the whole country, and you get there and you don't see it, that is awful. I don't know, some people might say, well, that's the fun, that's the joy. It's the disappointment one day and the excitement and amazement the next day. No, not for me. It's either I get it or I don't. And the other thing is, my other reasoning is I travel. And a lot of the birds that people travel for down here in Kent, I end up going to the continent and seeing loads of them. Hoopoes, bee eaters, white storks, things, loads of stuff like that. So I don't run for stuff because I'm going to end up I remember the story was, what was it? I think it was in 2001 when Hertfordshire had a flock of hawfinch in some churchyard. And I drove all the way up there, I saw them. They were distant, but my 600mm lens, I got close enough. I was relatively happy. And then like a year later, that was like an hour and a half's drive or something. And I had to drive into London. It was a lot of driving, a lot of standing around in the cold. And then a year later, I was in Agadir on a little excursion through the mountains on a coach. And I was just standing looking over. I could hear a few birds like chaffinch. And then hawfinch landed 8 feet in front of me, and I just got solid, sharp photos of it. And I thought, why do I run for stuff? But then I came to the conclusion as well that if you don't run for stuff in the UK, sometimes you won't ever bother going out. Go out anyway, and you might land on something else. So again, it's a balance. The weather's got to be right. I've not got to have seen anything for a while. I need it for my life list, or I need some better photos, or I need some video. I don't have any video or photos of this bird. Right, just had a bit of a panic there. Sorry, I went silent for a second. I started smelling a burning smell, and with a leak I had in my cab the other day, I'm on a little bit of a high alert. So what I did is I put the window down and I could smell it. It's coming. There's a fire somewhere ahead of me that's coming through the whole cab and all over the motorway. I hope it's not my cab, because it's a big fire underneath it. But anyway, I will speak to you when I get down to Dover, and if I see anything along the way while I'm driving, I'll pop back in and update the podcast. But as a reminder, there should be a corresponding vlog with the Dotterel and hopefully the spotted crake today. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. We've got the whole day. Fingers crossed. Let's see if my luck holds up. I just got down to Dover and picked up a coffee from McDonald's. And yeah, my German stuff, as I said in my last podcast, if you didn't hear, I've ordered a big batch from Germany, because they're the only place where you can get the Strength 13 Dolce Gusto pods. So I'm still waiting for those. It's been a week and a half. It was a bit silly because I let slip. I should have ordered them well before I run out. But when I buy them, usually I buy 13 boxes to get the free delivery, which is about 7-8 pounds. Sorry, some of you Americans might not know the quid. And 16 capsules per box. So I in my mind it's going to last forever, but it doesn't. So we just picked up a coffee. I'm okay, but I just fancy it. It's my little morning routine. To be honest, I don't think it really does anything for me. It's just the routine of having a nice coffee in the morning, that lovely smell. So we just got to find where this point is. I'm plugging into the map where the Dotterel is going to be. Let's open up the app. I know the route. It's north of Dover, and it might be where the wheatears were on my trip down here. Am I on the right road here? I'm going to find out. Have I gone down the right road? Yep, this is it. Yep. Okay, towards Dover. We're on the way. Yeah, I just got messages through on WhatsApp from my local Bexley group that a little stint has been spotted. And for one of the birders, it's his 200th bird species across nest. That's amazing for that little reserve. So at the moment, there's been a green shank, a green sandpiper, a little stint, and today a ruff as well. And then we've got it's coming and going, but a ruddy shelduck and a Cape shelduck. Amazing. The Cape shelduck is its second year. Now, the ruddy shelduck can very easily be a migrant bird, a wild bird that is, because they're seen everywhere. They've been at Sevenoaks, Stodmarsh, etc. the Cape Shelduck's a question mark. Now, obviously, people are saying, of course, it's going to be a release or an escapee. But what I've found with the release and escapees are that they are comfortable around humans. But when I went to see the Cape Shelduck, very, very skittish. Like it saw you from a distance. It was as frightened as the common shelduck it was hanging around. So they could be random. I mean, you know, random things like that do happen. The tropic bird in Fuerteventura, the albatross up at, with the black-browed albatross up at Bampton Cliffs. There's all sorts of weird things that can happen like that. There were no leg rings on this Cape Shelduck. Anyway, so on the way down, I thought I'd start making a list. Why not? You know, I mean, there are not a big list, but I've seen 3 buzzards. Always exciting when you come down to the countryside and you're driving and you see the buzzards being chased by crows. Unfortunately, a couple of dead animals in the road. I've literally just seen the dead hedgehog, but the big one was a couple of miles back. I saw a badger. Yeah. Anyway, that's life on the roads and with nature. But that's it. I'm just round the corner. I'm trying not to get too excited from the Dotterel site. Literally round the corner. So I'll fill you in very soon. Right, I've just arrived at Dover Road, a small road off of the main one, off the main Deal Road. I thought I can already see birders in the field, right? So people are looking. I know the general area. I've just caught a couple of kestrels hunting. I just thought I'd take a bit of video of that for the vlog, because when I speak, I like to overlay footage. Oh yeah, I think that kestrel doesn't have something in its claws. So I've just pulled off. There's a little, yeah, I can see a bunch of people, and now I've got to figure out how to, yeah, it's going to be real needle in a haystack, because all these fields are sort of churned up. So it's going to be hidden really well. So it's going to be a case of everybody looking together. It could be anywhere here. It's going to be so well camouflaged. So everyone's walking in the field. I'm assuming then that means that it's perfectly okay to walk on the field. But they're quite distant into the field, so I'm going to have to figure out where they're parking. That's a bit of a trek. Yeah, lucky I bought my boots. Again, I'm just coming up on a kestrel hunting here. There could be a chance, still not see it. Right, yeah, I'm driving under the kestrel right now. He's literally to the left of my cab, but there's no way to stop. I'll film some of it. What are those in the tree? Those are just wood pigeons. Of course, they're wood pigeons. What else would there be? That's another. So many. At least 3 kestrels now. There must be a lot of mice here. A lot of rodents. I'm sure there are wheat here as well. Okay, there are some birders here on a field. They're not looking at anything. So that's one of the tricks, is when you come to these places. Oh, no, there's decent parking. Okay. Yeah, there's decent parking here. There's 4 cars and a bike. So I'm just going to follow these cars in there and keep an eye on the other birders and see what they're looking at. If they're looking at anything, and then go in that direction. And then I'll be nice if I see anybody, I'll wave to them. You know, what you want to do when you get into this hobby is, if you see something, share it, because words spread quickly. And if you're known as somebody who doesn't share, or is a bit cheeky and keeps things to themselves, when I get to Elmley, I'm very sharey. I'm like, seen this here, seen that there. There's nothing worse than speaking to someone when you tell them what you've seen and you put it on the WhatsApp, and they say, "Oh, I saw a such and such." I'm like, "Why didn't you put it on the WhatsApp group?" It's like, I hate that. Anyway, I'm going to get suited up. I've got a lot to carry. I've got bags, camera, tripod, and we're going to get out into the field. Fingers crossed. Let's do this. So parked up, found a lay-by. Helpful that there were cars already in here, and some guys getting out with scopes. And it's the lay-by is on the Dover Road. It's a small road off of the main Deal Road. And I followed the bird guide's dot through the field. My worry was with these fields, are they private? Are you allowed to walk on them? Needn't have worried, because there are lots of people there already. So I assume it's safe. There are no signs up saying don't enter. If there were any privacy issues, they would have wire fences, barbed wire fences, and wooden ones and all that kind of stuff. But there weren't any, and the people have been coming in for days, so that's a pretty good sign you're okay to walk on the field, even though it looks like a kind of a planted field. Anyway, forget all that. It's fine. So what happened was I got out onto the field, saw a couple of people on the horizon, somebody with a scope on the left. First things first, the best thing to do in that situation is get your camera up and see if they've spotted something, if they're really intensely looking. If they're panning with their bins, it means they've not seen anything. And then there were a group on the right, dog walker, and they were doing the same thing. And I thought, okay, it's going to be needle in a haystack time. They could be anywhere. They could be well hidden. If they're not moving, I'm in trouble. So I'll just say I'm on the main road. I apologize for the noise. I've just come back to avoid the rain and I'm doing a catch up. So I just walked towards the dot on the Bird Guides app and then just started sweeping like like with a scythe with my eyes, looking up left, looking up right, stopping every so often, letting my eyes defocus to see if there is any movement. And I didn't have to go far. They suddenly appeared 20 feet in front of me, 30 feet in front of me. I didn't know what it was to start with. It was just a bird. So I thought it could be a partridge. But I got my scope on it, and even though I'd never seen one before, I'd seen pictures and I knew it was the Eurasian Dotterel when we were up to 755 lifers. Yes. So I filmed, and then I looked up to see if anybody was coming over, and nobody was coming over. And I think what happens sometimes, so I'm getting excited. I need to slow down a little bit. My heart is racing. I think what happens is when somebody spots a bird, people are a bit shy to come over. Like, you've seen it. They don't want to intrude. You found it. So after I got a couple of minutes of footage, I looked up and I kind of did a big wave and I said, "Here, over here." And they started coming over. And I just filmed. It was really windy. This is all going to go in the vlog. It's going to be a really good vlog. So I'm going to be going for like I said, the spotted crake. Somebody just showed up from my local WhatsApp group and said they'd been to see it. It showed well. So fingers crossed, 2 in 1 day is going to be incredible. 2 lifers. So I just explained to them where you were likely to see the Dotterel. Anyway, these birders came over. They had a quick look and then they were gone. I was like, "Well, what? Is that it? You just came and ticked it off?" I'm like, "My gosh, okay, fair enough." So I filmed. I got down on my knee to get low shots because with all the noisy background, my camera was struggling to focus because they were really blending. But as soon as they moved, you could see them a mile away. And definitely 2 juveniles and 1 adult. And I was keeping an eye. A couple of times I thought I might have seen a 4th, but no, only 3. And I got down on my knees to film. Luckily, I'm looking down. What I've done now is I've taken out these knee guards that I've used for gardening or changing tires or something, so that I can now kneel down and not where I'm putting my knee in something wet, or a shard of glass could be in there or anything, So I'm going to take that back out there. I'm not going to, it's only 1 p.m, so I'm not going to go for the Crake show. I'm going to give this place another hour because I got good footage. I got them moving around, fluffing up, interacting a little bit, but no kind of flight shots. I've got video of the wings being flicked out, but will they fly? I don't know. I've got my settings ready that if they take off, I can flick to my photos. But I would like some sort of something flighty. It feels weird, even though it's a lifer taking pictures of still birds. I'm more into the flight shots now. So I'm just editing some photos on my computer to get ready to post while I do this update. Anyway, this is amazing. So yeah, that couldn't have gone any better. I made the trip. I took the chance. The parking's perfect. There's no restricted access. And I got my birds in spectacular style. And look forward to the footage later. So I'll catch up with you later if there's any updates. Yeah, so lots of people have turned up, and I've just been telling people there are birders out in the field now, and they're asking if it's there. And I said, yeah, I just seen it 20 minutes ago. Go and look for the other birders. They'll have found it for sure. So I finished up at my cab, and I've just come out, and nobody's found it. Everyone's spread out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 10 people here. I'm back at the spot I last saw them, and I can't see it for a second, but nobody else has found it. So I found it the first time and told everybody. Let's see if I can do it for a second run. They're not on the strip. There's a kind of a thick grass strip running through, and they were there. And I don't know if they were just sticking to that grass. So yeah, that's the current situation. I'll get back to you if I spot them. Yeah, so we're just leaving the site again. We did spot the Dotterel again, but there are about 10 or 15 more birders showed up, and the photographers are getting really close for shots, and the scopers are keeping their distance. I'm not really going to get anything more. I don't really like doing it when there are so many other people around. I like the sort of having it to myself, having that special moment to myself. And that's one of the other reasons why I don't do the Twitch unless the bird's been there about a week. I like everybody to get their fill and their photos. And if I finally show up, if it's still there, I've got it all to myself and I can enjoy and watch the birds. But it's getting a bit kind of competitive for best vantage point, and then you start looking a bit aggressive, especially for the scopers that are keeping their distance. And yeah, I don't want to be one of the photographers they're looking at going, oh, they're getting too close and they're going to scare it away. So I'm going to avoid all that and go for the Crake. Oh, hang on. What is that? Sorry, something just, I know people hate when I do that, but what is that? Probably just a wood pigeon, but that hovered for a second. Okay, hold on, let me get my, yeah. I said it was probably just a wood pigeon, and guess what it is? It's a wood pigeon. Wood pigeons hover in the wind, who knew? Right, I'm just getting back to the cab now, and I'll speak to you again when we get to Sandwich Bay. I think it's only about a 20-30 minute drive. Right, I've just arrived in Sandwich and parked up. Very fortunate to find out that parking is free on a Sunday. Yes, good, because those car parks can rack up. And I just had a look. It is the main car park in the town, just by the river, costs £1.80 an hour every single day of the year. So just be aware, yeah, if you want to come here on a day of the week, choose a Sunday and you'll be set to go. Now, just walking along the river's edge, going east, I've studied the map, I've looked on bird guides, and it's pointed out the pond where the spotted crakes are. Now I've had to sort of match it up with Google Maps to find where to walk, and it can catch you off, because when you type into Google Maps from where you are to where you want to go, it shows you a walking route, but the walking route shows you having to cross the river without a bridge. So I had to change it to satellite view and examine the river. So what I'm going to do is I'll put it on the vlog with the marking of where you need to walk. Hopefully I've got that right, because I'm even this is the first time for me I've ever done this. And it says it's about a 25-minute walk. So that's about a mile. I was told that by one of the birders back there. So just be aware, to get to this kind of location, it's new for me, and it's a mile walk at least. But I'll put some of the footage from the town. It's lovely, absolutely stunning. Nothing to report. I had a chat with a nice lady in the road I'm parking. She said, oh, it's nice to see a black cab out this far, and I gave her my card, my YouTube card. Every view is 1 cent earned. Because I get, what do I get? $7 per thousand, maybe even $10 per thousand views on some of the best ones. So maybe it's not even a cent per view, maybe it's half a cent, but it all adds up. I've got a big box of these business cards to give out. And so every so often I've got to stop and take some video of this. And so how can I explain it? You've got to walk east along the south bit of the river, because the pond they're talking about is on the right side of the river. If you approach it from the left, there's nowhere to cross. So you've got to get on the right side of this. Hang on, let's have a look at it. What is the river? Does the river have a name? Let's get the old Google Maps open. It's called the River Stour. I should know that. So we need the path on the right side of the River Stour to make sure we're on the correct side when we get to the pond. Otherwise, that's going to be one heck of a view, looking over the River Stour and then into the pond if we're lucky. How many people have messed that up? It looks like there are places to park on the left side of the Stour, but again, like I said, you can't cross, and they're all industrial estates. So there's nowhere there to park. And I'm just looking for this spot now where I can cross. And there's a bridge on my left. It's a metal bridge. Am I turning in there? I suppose I could turn in there. I'll go in there. There's two bridges. Okay, I'll get back to you when I get a bit closer and let you know if anything else I've encountered. So I just arrived at the named pool, and I was told by a fellow birder, South African chap, that there are 3 pools. The middle one The second one was the one with the water in it, and I have to go round to the north side of it and look in, and it's on the sort of the bank or the bay in there. At the moment, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, probably 20 or so coots and a single green sandpiper. I thought that might have been it, small bird for the crakes. I'm just gonna look for anything else. I mean, it's quite busy with birds. There's gulls going around, kestrels, swallows and house martins still flying around. Okay, I see something in the reeds, but that could just be another coot. Let's get the camera on it. In the reeds at the back. Very windy, this is going to be interesting. Oh, we need some more light. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, this is going to need some manual focus. We've got 2 water owl. Oh, this is windy. Thank goodness for my 4K crop. They're basically just, they're preening. One's feeding, one's preening. Okay, so a coot just came out and scared one of the water rail away. So I'm going to move around a bit further, get another angle. Anything over there? Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be in this far reed. Oh, hello. Yeah, okay. Anything else in there? It's very dark. Let me get my sensitivity up. So those are definitely water owl. I'm sure I'm not making that mistake. Just scanning. You can stop. Sorry, one of my straps is wrapping on my belt, and that's just I know it's gonna make a noise on the mic if I don't stop it. Right, what else have we got? So that was good. It's got green sandpiper so far, 2 water owl. Yeah, I haven't seen any super close pictures. I think a lot of the ones I've seen are really zoomed in and cropped heavily. So it's going to see what I can manage. My best bet is going to be my 4K crop, unfortunately. I'm just scanning the reeds. These are all coots. Actual fixing the mistake. Well, what an up and down it's been. My goodness me. I got here and within minutes to the pond, the water owl had been spotted, and I thought I saw 2 of them. And I was filming them, and I thought, okay, the last picture I saw was with the corn crake and the water owl together. And I thought, okay, where is it? So the 2 water owl, that hadn't been reported before. And then I looked at the pictures online, and I thought, they look almost identical. The pictures were obviously from people who had taken the photo from quite a distance away and cropped in, so the detail was a bit distorted. And what I thought were 2 water owl to begin with, and then I started to think, wait a minute, was the one at the front, the smaller one, a spotted crake? Because I wasn't 100% sure on what a spotted crake exactly looked like. Did it look almost like a water owl? So I had to go online and check images, but no, they are quite distinctively different. So I waited and waited. The water owl went in and out. There was one continuously hunting. And while waiting, I saw a green sandpiper and 3 to 4 common snipe in the reeds. And I filmed them. I kept checking those closely to see if any of them turned out to be this spotted crake. Again, still not sure what I was looking for. And I was here for about an hour and a half. I was like, oh no, did I go from really, the Dotterel would have been excellent. I couldn't complain. But it would have been a shame to miss this one too. So I thought, I don't care, I'm going to stay here right to the last minute. And I was wondering for a second, had people made the mistake? Had people seen 2 water owl? And because it was so distant, they couldn't quite ID it properly and assumed that was what it was. So I went to the Facebook, Kent Birding Facebook, and checked the images. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that does look completely different. That is a spotted crake and it corresponds to the images I saw online. So it's definitely here. I just have to look for it. Waited, and then I was actually looking in the wrong area. From the northern point of the pond, it was further to the right. A little bird came out that was obviously smaller than the coots. Got it up and got the camera up, and yes, there it was, thank goodness. So I filmed. Very distant in the 4K crop mode. And I thought, okay, look, let's film, get enough footage that you can overlay, and then switch to photos so you can get a record, you know, a good photo of it, upscale it, and see what you can do with it. No one's got a brilliant photo yet. So I've done that, and phew, so that is definitely, I've definitely got the spotted crake, there is no doubt. I missed it on Lesvos, and I got it here after that confusion earlier, that I thought I had spotted crake with the water rail. It wasn't, it was two water rail. And the water rail at the front of the, there was one preening at the back, and one in front of it, and the one in front of it looked tiny, like smaller, and I thought, do spotted crake look like water rail? And maybe it was just a juvenile or something. Anyway, so I'm just checking a bird in the distance. That's definitely, it's got to be a kestrel. It can only be a kestrel. Yeah, doing its hovering thing in the distance. So I got some footage from, where are we now? The north side-ish of the pond from a distance. And I noticed it was making its way further north of this bit of mud, bit of sand, scrape. I looked to the right and I thought, can I get an angle from there? So I've gone round and I did get slightly closer. I really had to tiptoe. And another chap's come along and I've had to say to him, I was going to look, I looked down and it's gone. So I said to him, if you do want to see it, go over to where I was standing and you'll get a better view. So he's over there having a look, and I'm waiting for it to pop out here because I've got photos from here, 4K crop from over there. And I'd like some 4K crop from here because it would fill more of the frame. Right, okay, I think I've caught up. We've got it. We've definitely got it this time after all that mucking around earlier. So just finishing up the pond and making my way back for the sunset, hoping I might get some chances taking martins, house martin flight shots. I've put the dot sight on. There were some cows at the northern side of the pond which were attracting small birds, and I got my dot sight up. There are only swallows. I specifically want house martins because I've got plenty of swallows at Elmley. So I saw a couple of kestrels. There was a buzzard coming in. I'd just seen a bird land on a post and then take off. And there was something about it. It was really distant. And I saw it fly off. And I just fired a couple of shots in its direction and zoomed in. And it's a sparrowhawk. So we're really clocking up the numbers here. All sorts of jackdaws, the beardies, loads of geese flying over from somewhere to somewhere. Wood pigeon there. And what else am I hearing? Yeah, all sorts of black-headed gulls, herring gulls. No Mediterraneans or anything like that. But yeah, we're going to go back to the Stour, closer to Sandwich, and hope the sand martins, well, there might be some sand martins there. House martins are still flying around. The sun is directly out. It should be hitting the birds quite well. So I just got to set myself up with my back to the sun and hope they're still flitting around, because this is when the insects are coming out. Fingers crossed on that one. That was an excellent day. I mean, in the end, I got more video. What I'll probably do is I'll put some video as part of the vlog, and then I'll put up individual videos of just the crake, just footage of it, and of the Dotterel, because there's a lot of great footage, and it's good for people just to see the behavior and not just be limited to the sort of 15, maybe 30 seconds or so that I put up on the vlog, and to see how they do. If nobody cares, I'll delete them if they don't get many views. I don't want, you might have noticed I put videos up, and if they don't do well, I just delete them if they're just footage of birds. You know, I'm just putting them up to see if anyone's interested in seeing footage of certain birds. I'm just playing with the format of YouTube at the moment, seeing what does and doesn't work. I was hoping to get some house martin shots, but it's not happening. I'm on the east side of the River Stour, and they're all above the River Stour, which means I can't get their photos because they're in between me and the sun, so they won't be any good. There are some over there. I might try. If you might be able to hear it occasionally. The parakeets are down here, and I can hear them. I've actually filmed a flock going past. There we go. Yep, I've had small flocks like that going over my head for the last 10 minutes. Now, if they made their way down here, then they'll be overrunning this place too soon. I thought it was just London. Yeah, okay. But there are house martins about. I need them to come down lower. I might sit here for a minute and try and see if any come down low enough. If not, that's the end of the podcast. I'll try my luck and I'll let you know how it goes. And you can look at them on the vlog. Anything that I take, obviously, anything I've spoken about, it's going to be on the vlog that goes along with this. And then, like I said, I'll probably put up footage purely of the dotterel and of the sparrows, house sparrows. There's a big house sparrow colony down here as well. And the corn crake, I need to see the corn crake. That would be great if I'd have seen that. Of the spotted crake, I'll put the footage up of that as just an individual clip, video, like maybe 5-6 minutes worth. I did film loads. I'll see what's usable, what's steady, because the wind was blowing like crazy. Yeah, we're done now. So just to say, I was going to keep a list, but it got away from me. I think we can safely say it was probably about 50 species. But yeah, it's just exhausting to keep the vlog, the podcast, the photos, the video, keeping all the settings going. I apologise. And something else flew in the tree there. I'm going to finish up there. And yeah, I'm just running Merling. See, I can't even speak. Just running Merlin at the moment. And it's picking up, those are the Western house martin. Yeah, the things I wanted to photograph. Oh my gosh. I just had a food pass right above my head. It's too dark. I couldn't have photographed it. I'm going to get that one day with the right light. That's going to be my next project, to get a house martin food pass. Yes, please. That's going to be a spectacular photo. And with my dot sight, I'll be able to do it. Okay, I'm going to clock off there, and I'll see you in the next podcast. Remember to check out the corresponding vlog to this. Hope you enjoyed, folks.